Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a 2023 American superhero film produced by Marvel Studios, and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It is the third and final installment in the Guardians of the Galaxy film trilogy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. The film was written and directed by James Gunn. As a baby raccoon, Rocket is a test subject for the High Evolutionary in order to create a counter-Earth populated by anthropomorphic animals. He becomes friends with Lila, Teefs, and Floor, three of the High Evolutionary's other test subjects. Rocket displays intelligence and aptitude beyond the other animals and deduces the flaw in the anthropomorphization process, angering the High Evolutionary. They later learn that they will not be part of the new Earth after the High Evolutionary perfects the formula to anthropomorphize. When the High Evolutionary suspects an escape attempt, he kills Lila, Teefs and Floor, enraging Rocket, who mauls him and escapes. Years later, the Guardians of the Galaxy have established their headquarters on a rebuilt nowhere. The night after settling in, they are attacked by Adam, a superpowered being created out of revenge by his mother, and the Empress of the Sovereign, Aisha, for previously stealing from her people, B. They are ordered to bring Rocket to the High Evolutionary, who has become obsessed with retrieving his subject for the purpose of isolating and replicating Rocket's intellect. During the fight, Rocket is seriously injured, leaving the Guardians unable to tend to his wounds due to a kill switch embedded in him. The team resolve to travel to the Orgoscope, headquarters of the High Evolutionary's company Orgocorp, in the hopes of finding an override code. With the assistance of the Ravagers and a reluctant 2014 Gamora, the Guardians infiltrate Orgosphere and retrieve Rocket's file. However, they are attacked by Orgosphere's guards, barely escaping after Peter Quill remotely activates the guard suit jetpacks. They deduce that Theo, one of the High Evolutionary's scientists, may have the override code stored in his memory, and decide to track him down. The team visits Counter-Earth against Gamora's advice, followed by Aisha and Adam. With help from a family of bat-like humanoids, Quill, Nebula and Groot trace Theo to the High Evolutionary's ship, while Drax and Mantis remain with Gamora and Rocket. Quill and Groot board the High Evolutionary's ship, leaving Nebula behind. Mantis unwillingly accompanies Drax to the High Evolutionary's ship, which begins to launch with Quill and Groot captured on board, a process that also destroys Counter-Earth. Gamora stays with Rocket, but is attacked by a pig warrior sent by the High Evolutionary, who, herself, is killed when Warlock arrives looking for Rocket. Gamora overpowers Adam and launches the Guardian's ship. Quill and Groot successfully defeat the High Evolutionary's forces and capture Theo, jumping off with him and retrieving his memory before Gamora meets them. Meanwhile, believing Quill and Groot are still on board, Nebula, Mantis, and Drax board the High Evolutionary's ship to rescue them, and a weakened Adam senses that his mother is in danger but is too late to save her. On the Guardian's ship, Rocket flatlines and has a near-death experience, where he is met by Lila, Teefs and Floor, who tell him that his time has not yet come before Quill successfully implements the override code and revives him. Mantis, Nebula, and Drax come across hordes of imprisoned children on the High Evolutionary's ship before being captured themselves, and placed in a chamber with obelisks. Mantis is able to persuade the obelisks to side with them, and the three escape the chamber before reuniting with the Guardians and overpowering the High Evolutionary's army. Kraglin and Cosmo arrive in Nowhere, which Cosmo connects to the High Evolutionary's ship with the help of Nebula and Kraglin, through her powers of telekinesis, allowing them to free the captured children. Rocket discovers a litter of baby raccoons and other test subject animals, but is attacked by a deranged High Evolutionary while attempting to free them before being rescued by the Guardians. The High Evolutionary is left to perish on his ship while the animals are rescued and board Nowhere along with most of the Guardians. After Cosmo is unable to hold the ships together for long enough for him to board, Quill barely escapes, beginning to freeze in space before being rescued by Adam. The Guardians decide to disband. Quill bestows the rank of Captain of the Guardians upon Rocket before leaving for Earth. Mantis embarks on a journey of self-discovery with the obelisks. Gamora reunites with the Ravagers, Nebula and Drax remain on Nowhere to raise the rescued children. In a mid-credit scene, the new Guardians, Rocket, a fully grown Groot, Cosmo, Kraglin, Warlock, Phyla, and Blurp, are shown undergoing a new mission. In a post-credits scene, Quill reconnects with his grandfather. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.